What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Fanpreneur Podcast, also known as the Family Table. I'm one of your hosts, Alexander Turner, and today with me I have Marvin Mitchell, who is a guru in the financial space. So look, if you haven't already, I'm always a big person on making sure you're taking notes, because when you take notes, you're able to actually remember things better when you write it in your own handwriting, all right? So when he speaks, make sure you're taking those notes, because I promise you this man has some game to give you. What's going on, Marvin?
What up, Alex, man? How you doing?
Feeling blessed, man. Thanks for being on the podcast, man. So,
bro.
So for people who are not familiar with you, can you just kind of give a quick gist of who you are and how you got into what you do?
Yeah, man. 17-year pro financial advisor, Hall of Fame, elected in 2021, the youngest ever, the second African American ever inducted to the Hall of Fame. 2016 top 5 advisor of the year in a minute. But it came from like humble beginnings. I grew up poor, didn't have a lot of money. Dad been in jail my whole life. I was able to turn it, transition it, and make something in my life, because I have a passion for helping people. My grandmother died, didn't have her finances in order, didn't have long-term care. Her advisor told her she was safe. She ended up losing all of her money. We felt like she was a burden. And that's when I said, I got to create a new family table. And that's why I decided, man, I gotta do something about it. Started in a big Wall Street firm. I just didn't feel like they were doing what was in the client's best interest. So I was making 6 figures. People thought I was crazy, but I left to start my own financial company. And since then, man, it's just been all up from there. Everything's been going well. We teach people how to leverage their money, make more money, multiply the money. And I teach people how to do cash flow and assets and take that and just build it around a shield. And just make sure that you protect it, man. Make sure your money and your wealth is protected.
So for those who are not familiar with what a cash flow asset is, can you describe that?
Yeah.
And then from there, can you describe how you build that shield around that cash flow?
Yeah. So I have a model that's called the Wealth Ascension Shield. It's like you gotta have 3 steps. The first step is you gotta create your money pot. The money pot is we're gonna do that through life insurance, specially funded with high cash value life insurance. But first we gotta find the money. What I mean by find the money, there's a lot of people that are losing money unknowingly and unnecessarily due to interest rates, due to taxes, due to how they're paying for child education, due to how they're funding their 401k. So we help you to bundle that money and put it into your money pot. Then we leverage against that tax-free, and it still grows as if you never touched it. And then we buy a cash flow asset, such as real estate. And real estate is a perfect example, because you're getting appreciation and you're getting cash flow from the rental income. You take the rental income and then you pay off the loan that you took from the cash value. And once the real estate grows enough, you can actually do a home equity line of credit and borrow the equity, put that on a new property. Now you made your money work 3 times off the same dollar. And it get really spicy if you use business funding. You could actually use a business funding and turn it into cash, then buy the asset, pay it off from the cash value with the pay the cash value off to pay off the car. Now you're making money off the cash value, like as if you never touched the tax-free, still growing. You got all your points from the credit card, and you got 2 properties that's cash flowing and getting appreciation.
God,
dang. Then you wrap that up with an asset shield, a trust where you can put the trust as the owner and the beneficiary of the life insurance policy. You can protect your assets if somebody tried to sue you. You own literally nothing, but you control everything. So you can literally tell your family you ain't got no money to give them, and you would be telling the truth. Yeah, no, you got the money because it ain't yours. It's in a different entity that acts as somewhat different to you.
First of all, let's just take a moment to let that settle in. Look, if you missed it, rewind it, watch the whole thing again, whatever. But so I want to touch on, you kind of said 2 things that I want to touch on a little bit. Trust, and then putting, obviously, borrowing from that life insurance, right? So can you touch on how somebody can do both, have a trust and then have that insurance on that trust, and then how they can pull it from there?
So there's something that's called ILIT, which is the insurance life trust, right? So the way that works is you get the life insurance policy, and then you make the owner and the beneficiary of the trust. What's going to happen is when you die, it's going to go tax-free to the trust, and it's going to avoid estate taxes, because there are no estate taxes in an irrevocable trust. So you get an irrevocable trust. And what happens with that, you can actually control your money from the grave. With the trust, you can write rules in there, like a spendthrift trust, which means that, everybody got multiple kids who one of them is really financially responsible and the other one you don't know. So you know what I mean? So you can set rules in place and say, hey, this person can get $2,000 a month until this a certain age, and then they can have access to the money. Or this money is only to be used for like schooling or whatever you want to be. Like the best example of that is Ghost. If you ever watch Power.
Oh yeah.
When the famous scene is when Tariq went to jail, and then he got a note from the trust that said, "I knew you were gonna end up here." I don't know if you remember that part.
I didn't see that part.
But he couldn't access that trust, the money for the trust, until he completed college. And then he ended up going to jail before he completed college, and then they did that. So that's a famous scene right there. So you can control the money from the grave. You can also set it up to where, like, this insurance policy, we set in a family constitution that this family is gonna build businesses, and you can borrow from the family insurance policy against the trust. But here are the rules. The trust is going to spell out the rules. You got to pay it back between this time. You have to do this. You have to buy this type of asset. The trust is going to literally spell it out for you.
And it's crazy that you said that, because another example that popped up in my head was Rockefellers.
Right?
The Rockefellers are a perfect example. They're probably one of the biggest and main ones that people are really starting to actually start doing their research on. But one of the rules that they had was, once a year they do a family meeting or where they talk about everything that needs to be talked about. And if you miss that meeting, you are no longer a part of the trust. Right?
Wow.
So setting those rules in place are important, because then it's all about mindset, right? When you set things in place and they have to be followed, people are going to continue to follow them, and then their mindset will shift, their understanding.
Absolutely.
So when it comes down to crafting this entire, because it's not the quickest thing to do, and I'm not going to say it's hard, but it's not easy either. So what would be the first step you would say for someone who is looking to start crafting this asset protection shield for themselves?
Yeah, good question. First off, know the 3 steps. Get your money pot, leverage it to buy cash flow, and then protect it with the asset shield. We do help individuals to do that, and I know that y'all are like big on that. You know what I mean? So like, what exactly do you all do with the family, so that way I'm not overlapping with
no doubt. So our goal is to obviously offer asset protection, but it's helping them, one, get their trust, make sure everything is structured properly after that trust is created. Well, with the holding company, making sure insurances go there.
I thought that's what you did. I just wanted to be sure.
Not on you good, but I want to mind you speaking more on.
I didn't want to overlap it. So what we do is we do the insurance, right? And we tell our clients to create a trust, so to protect their assets. So this is perfect, because you can get your insurance, your money pot, and we can help you do the cash flow and assets. You go to wealthcreationcall.com, Wealth Creation Call, and if we know it came from the family, then all you got to do is say you came from them. And then we'll make sure we connect that relationship, so you can have your trust and your asset protection set up. And then we can have that mutual relationship back and forth where your whole situation is taken care of.
I love that, man. See, look, this guy is the guru. I've been telling you this. So when it comes down to trust, right? I know there are obviously numerous different types of trust.
Yeah.
What would be now this, generically speaking, right? I know it's still specific, but generically speaking, what would be the type of trust that someone should get when trying to, build asset protection?
You know what? It's different. You got revocable, you got irrevocable. So the one that really protects you, not everybody needs this, but the irrevocable trust is what's going to protect you against real asset protection, as well as it's going to protect you against taxes. But a family trust is good too. That's going to make sure everything is aligned, everything that you order, the revocable trust. Not everybody needs an irrevocable trust. It just depends on your situation, your tax situation. The more wealthier individuals are going to go toward the irrevocable, but the revocable trust is good for you too. So we diagnose your situation. We're going to work together with Alex, with the family, to make sure that everybody got what they need, and we're going to coordinate that to make sure that it's right. But it's not a one-size-fits-all strategy. You got to make sure that you that you actually are doing what's in your best interest, and knowing. And the only way to do that is that we got to know you. You got to know the client to provide the proper recommendation.
You got to know what that client and then that family is trying to do, because it's not just the one client, right?
Yeah.
If you're creating a trust, it's meant for the family. So you need to understand what the family's interests are and where the overall goal you want to go for that family, right? So I got a question for you, right?
Yeah.
How should I phrase this? I don't want to be too personal in asking you business, right? But how long have you had a trust, and let's just say tax-wise, how much money have you saved taxes and some of
So I'm gonna tell y'all a mistake that I made. So the question was, how long did I have the trust? I had the trust for like 8 years. I've had the trust for 8 years. The real question is how long did it take me to go to all of my assets and fund the trust?
So how long did that take?
I literally had the trust for 4 years before I actually went to fund the trust.
Damn.
So, because it just was out of sight and out of mind. And what's so crazy is I tell y'all that mistake that I made personally, thank God that happened to me, because that's the number one thing that I see. I see people that go out and do all this work and get the nice trust, and they never go out and fund the trust. That don't mean nothing, because if you die, you can have this fancy trust, but if it's not connected to your accounts, then it don't mean anything. But once I learned this, I've been able to save an average of an extra $300,000 to $400,000 a year in taxes just by the different things that I learned of protecting your taxes, getting the proper structures, because it's about getting the proper structures in place too. So, for example, one little thing that I made with my structure in my business, like I always filed an S corp, but I didn't have a C corp. So when I ended up getting me a C corp and turning that C corp into a marketing company, and I had to spend it down before September the 30th, just by me knowing that knowledge, I'm able to save all that money in taxes, and that's where a lot of the bulk of my tax savings come from. And I didn't know about that at first until I got that information. Now, I paid $45,000 for that information, but once I got that information, do you think, would you pay $45,000 to save $300,000 every year?
Heck yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That so fast, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
And see, I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's all about seeking the right mentor, seeking the right people who have done that you are wanting and striving to do, because mentors aren't here to take your money. Let's be real, right? They're here to guide you on a path that you are already on or looking to be on, and get you the result that you want quicker, right? What is it? Saving yourself time, money, and energy.
You got it.
Right?
System. Save yourself.
Right, and mentors offer systems, right? They give you that they give you that code to know how to do the things in the right way.
If you can tap into a system, and it's very important to tap into a system and a structure, right? Then, bro, I'm telling you, I would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a system, because the system is all the hard work. People think it's the talent. It ain't the talent. It's what somebody else already figured out with their system. So if I can get that system and tap into that, I'm saving myself money. I'm saving myself energy. I'm saving myself time. I'm saving myself heartache. I'm saving myself stress. I'm saving myself money. So the thing is that to find that mentor and find somebody that guides you to do it, and not try to go to YouTube University. Here's why. Let me tell you this. Nothing wrong with YouTube, but here's the thing. I love YouTube for things that I know because it verifies it, right? I love YouTube for things that I know that I don't know. Because if I know that I don't know it, then I can look it up.
Gotcha.
But how can I look up what I don't know that I don't know? You think about that.
How can you look up things that you don't know?
If I don't know that I don't know it, how can I search for it?
Exactly, because you don't know it.
What a mentor does is they're going to open up the blind spots to reveal things to you that you never even knew to look for. So if I didn't know to look for it, how can I find it on YouTube? So like if I met with you, right, and you told me about a stock play, right? I had never heard of that stock. I wouldn't have searched. How can I search for a stock I didn't know to look for?
Exactly.
But because you told me, now I can look it up, and what if I make hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Exactly.
If you told me about a certain type of trust that I didn't know to look for, how would I look it up? But when you tell me, what if I save $300,000 in tax? So that's what it is. It's like, if you could tell me some stuff that I don't know to even look for, that's where money is made. Most money is made in a blind spot, not what I already know that I don't know.
Because you're doing 100% of the things you can with the information that you already know.
Absolutely.
So now it's about learning information and obtaining information that you don't know or have never heard of, because our biggest disadvantage is things that we don't know.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I want to ask you this last question. For all the people that's out there looking, what would be one piece of advice that you really want them to take away from everything that we've spoken about today, whether you've already said it or you haven't said it before?
Hey, mindset is everything. Your money can only grow as far as your mindset. So that's why it's important to develop financial literacy in your mindset. Because if your mindset is here and your money grows here, Here's the problem with that. Even though you made the money, you're going to lose it because your mindset hasn't developed yet. That's why football players, that's why people who win a lottery, that's why so many people end up broke. If your mindset is here and you have this much money and then you lose all of the money because you make a bad mistake, guess what? It's going to come back, and sometimes it's going to come back even further because you've been developing your mindset. Your money has to match your mindset. And what I tell people to do is you have to say it's only, put only before how much money you want to earn. So if I want $1 million, I'm not going to say I want $1 million. I'm going to say it's only $1 million. Because if it's only $1 million, my mindset is going to take me to that million. And when I'm doing it, it's going to surpass it because it was only $1 million anyway. So it's all psychology. If you learn this Jedi tricks, psychology, there's psychology behind money. There's energy behind money. There's vitality behind money. So if you learn the energy and you learn how the money flows, the money is going to flow in your direction. All you got to do is know how to claim it because it's already yours. Abundance is already your birthright. Once you know that it's there, you can claim it, man. As a financial advisor, bro, I see people all the time. Bro. Somebody die, nobody claims it.
Yep.
There's so much unclaimed money. All they got to do is show up and say, hey, I deserve this money. How many people don't claim the money that they're supposed to have mentally? It's already yours. So speak those things that are not as though they are and claim it. That's what I got to say, bro.
Look.
And check out Wealth Creation Call and set up your policy, man. That's what we do.
Exactly. Look, and then you're on the path to prosperity. Look.
The path to prosperity.
Marvin, where can they find you at?
Marvin Mitchell Official on IG. It'll be up on Marvin Mitchell Official. And then you can also just go to wealthcreationcall.com, man, and you can get in touch with my team.
Look. I know it was a short podcast, but you can't tell me you did not gain some information from what was said today. So look, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and make sure you follow my guy Marvin, because look, if you got information from this, just imagine what you're going to get if you actually start studying what he's teaching.
Yes, sir. Subscribe if you like their vibes.
Hey, I like it, man. I appreciate you, Marvin. And look, we'll see y'all next time. Let's go.
Appreciate it.